Ayan, so sorry if medyo may nabas ko kasi tulog na yung tatay ko sa other side, sa kabilang kwarto. So, ayan, uh, fit a straight line to the data shown and compute the standard deviation. So, for this, sana nga, straight line talaga yung quiz ni sir. Kasi yung curve lines is iba yung formula and hindi naman atay yung i-quiz based dun sa last na sinabi ni sir. So, and anyways, let's start na. So, ang requirement dito is standard deviation. So, before mo-compute yung standard deviation, syempre, meron mga kailangan i-solve dyan. Lahat ng 1 to 6 na formulas, kailangan pang i-solve before ma-solve yung standard deviation. So, ayan, may process naman tayo for this one So, anyways, first step is, ito yung first straight line to first straight line formulas. So, first step is, compute for the x bar and y bar. So, hindi ko napapakita kung paano siya, kung exactly specific details kung paano solve yung process lang. So, ayan, so, to compute the x bar and y bar, syempre, consider din siya as mean ng kada variable. So, for x bar, i-compute lang yung mean ng x. Sa y bar, compute lang yung mean ng mga y variables. So, para ma-compute yung x bar, alam mo na yan, plus lang lahat ng to, summation itong 5, then divide mo sa 5. Depende sa kung ilan yung number of observations. So, for this, 5 yung number of observations. So, again, pag plus lang to, then divide sa 5 kasi ay yung number of observations. So, magkakaroon tayo ng value ng 1.7 for x bar. For y bar naman, pag plus lang ulit, then divide sa 5, which is value ng 4.02. So, ayan, meron tayong first step. Solve first x bar and y bar, or mean of x and y. Then next, solve for b. So, bakit hindi solve for a? Kasi hindi natin solve yung a nang walang value ng b. So, what is the formula for b? So, ito yung formula ng b. b equals, yung number 3 formula, b equals summation of y of observations times x of observations minus x bar over summation ng x observations times x observations minus x bar. Ayan, so kung calculate ka gagamit, hindi mo na siya need isulat yung solution, answer na lang, which is sobrang dali kapag alam mo kung paano ilagay sa calcu. As in like, siguro 5 seconds lang or 2 seconds kapag na-input mo na lahat ng givens. So, if manual naman, syempre gagamit tayo ng formula na to. So, upon using this formula, paano nga ba siya solve? Kung manual, again, suot ko lang formula, summation ng y observations, x observations minus x bar over summation ng x observations times x observations minus x bar. So, ayan, para ma-solve yung b, substitute mo lang yung mga values. So, for this, summation daw ng y observations times x observations minus x bar. So, ano ba yung observation sa y? So, first observation sa y is 2.9 times first observation daw sa x, which is 0, minus 1.7, which is yung x bar or yung mean ng x. Yan, summation. So, basically, papaplus lang natin lahat nung observations kada variables. So, next one is 3.7 times 1 minus 1.7 plus 4.1 times 2 minus 1.7. So, basically, papag-plus, input mo lang lahat ng values kada variables. So, 2.90, then minus out variable, then plus yung second observation sa y, 3.7, times mo sa first observation ng x, which is 1, minus mean. So, tagawin mo yun sa lahat ng observation. So, tatlo pa lang to, meron pang dalawa. So, over, same procedure. Pero this time, hindi na observation ng y, which x observations. So, first observation is 0 times 0 Bakit 0? Kasi observation ng x, first observation is 0, minus variable which is 1.7 din, yung y x bar, plus summation pa din siya, diba? So, again, yung next naman na observation which is 1 times 1 minus 1.7 plus 2 times 2 minus 1.7 plus, ayan, tatlo pa lang. So, alam mo na yan, tatlong observations. Kung manual naman, kung calculate ka naman diretso, hindi na siya needed. So, b equals, if masolve natin itong solution na to, magkakaroon tayo ng value ng 0.6431. Ayan, so may value tayo ng b. Meron tayong second step. Next step is solve for a. So, for solve for a, ang value ng a is y bar minus b times x bar. Ayan, so meron tayong value ng b, but wala tayong value ng a. So, for a, y bar natin is 4.02 minus b, which is 0.6431 times x bar daw, which is 1.7. Ayan, so magkakaroon tayo ng value ng a, which is 2.9267. Ayan. So, may value tayo ng a again. So, meron tayong third step. Next naman, then write the equation for f of x or y, which is sa y, equal siya sa a plus bx. So, for y, a plus bx. So, y equals 2.9267 plus 0.6431 x. Ayan, sorry. And x lang siya kasi yung x is constant variable lang siya. Hindi, wala siyang value yung x. Ito kasi, ang purpose nito is para makita yung linear regression along the chart. So, ganito. Ayan, so ayan yung parang equation for the linear chart. So, I think important ito. Ito yung kasama sa mga final answers, pero ayan, sige. So, basta important itong y na to. Magagamit din siya later on. So, meron tayong fourth step, yung for y. So, after ma-solve yung y, meron tayong ma-solve yung f of x. So, for f of x, ang kanyang formula is y equals a plus b times yung number of observations, yung observations. Ayan, observations. So, solve of the following functions of each data by changing its number of observations along x. Then, ayan, so y plus ab times x observations. So, wait lang. So, upon solving f of x, so wait lang, kuhain ko lang yung sample. Wait lang, kuhain ko yung sample. Wait lang, hanapin ko lang notes ko. Wait lang, saan ko sinend yun? Saan ko sinend? Wait lang. Ayan, so for this one, hindi natin ini-aim kung ano yung value ng y. Ano yan? F of x. Kasi may tayo ng value ng y. So, upon solving f of x, for each data, i-substitute natin yung, diba sa y dito, ay yung value ng y. So, i-substitute natin sa x yung mga number of observations, which is 0, 1, 2, 2.5, and 3. So, 5 yun. Bali 5 yung values. So, first one is substitute the value of a plus b times observations along x. So, 2.9267 plus 0.6431 times 0. So, bakit 0? Kasi ayun yung first variable sa x. Ayan. So, mayroon tayong magkakasagot na dyan na 2.9267. Second equation, copy lang din yung nasa taas kasi constant to eh. Constant yung value ng a tsaka ng b. 0.6431. Then, palitan lang ng second observation sa x, which is 1. So, kakaroon tayo ng value ng 3.5698. So, ganun din sa lahat ng observation sa x. Palitan mo lang yung 0 and 1 ng x ng yung observation sa x. So, meron dyang 5. Ang same lang dyan, ito, same lang din yan. Plus, same lang din tong b. But ang mababago lang is 2.5 and 3 and 2.5 and 3. So, iba-iba yung value yun, of course, kasi nag-iba na yung number of yung observation. So, 4.2129, 4.5345, and 4.8560. So, and mahalaga yan para makompute yung ating next step. So, ang ating previous step is solve for f of x. So, meron tayong, you now have the value for f of x. So, we can now solve the y observations minus f of x. So, after solving the f of x, i-minus naman daw natin yung observations ng y minus f of x. So, for this, okay, saan ko na naman sila dyan? Wait lang. Ang tanong, wait lang. Yan, so y observations minus f of x. So, y observations, lahat ng observations sa y. So, let's start with the 2.9 minus yung f of x, yung first f of x, which is 2.9 minus 2.9267. Yung first, second, yung second observation, which is 3.7 minus yung pangalawa, 3.5698, pangatlo, pang-apat, pang-5. So, copy mo lang din yung mga number of observations, 4.1, 4.4, and 5. Then, minus mo lang sa corresponding f of x. 4.5345, 4.8560. So, magkakaroon ng values yun, diba? So, negative 0.0267, 0.1302, 0.129, 0.1345. Sorry sa ating sulat. Medyo sleepy na rin. Ayan. So, next one. So, natin na-solve na. Ayan. Solve natin yung y observations minus f of x. Now, we can now solve for the formula number 5. Ang formula number 5 is s equals summation ng y observations minus f times x observations squared. So, basically, yung sinolve natin kanina, squared lang natin, tapos ipapag-plus sila lahat. So, ayan. Basically, i-squared lang natin itong mga to. Then, ipapag-plus silang lahat. So, yung s, hindi ko na po nang tawag sa s. Hindi siya standard deviation kasi ito yung standard deviation. Ay, variance ata tong S. Ay, ewan. Basta, solve na natin. So, hindi naman siya final answer. So, again, squared mo lang to. Squared lang natin yung following nakuha ang ating answers. Negative 0.0267 squared plus 0.1302 squared plus negative 0.1129 squared plus 2 squared plus yan. Considerate mo na yan. Alam mo na yan. So, after mo squared mo lahat, i-plus natin siya kasi nga summation siya ng summation siya yan ng mga squared. So, magkakaroon tayo ng value na S equals 0.0692. So, meron ng value ng S. So, if mabala natin ng S, we can now solve the standard deviation, which is yung required sagutan. So, then lastly, solve for standard deviation. Formula number 6. So, for formula number 6, meron tayong formula na standard deviation is equals to square root ng S over N minus M. Ayan. So, standard deviation, meron tayong value ng S which is 0.0692 over number of observations which is 5, but meron ditong condition. So, ang sabi, ako lang nagsagot, ako lang nagsulat nito based lang sa pagkakaintindi ko. So, ang N daw is the total of observations, but nag-start siya lagi sa 0. So, if 5 yung observations, meaning 4 lang yung N. Kasi 0, 1, 2, 0, 0, diba 5 observations, pero mag-i-start sa 0, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, basically, 4 yung N. 4. Ayan. So, kunyaring, diba? Kasi nga pansin mo, 5 yung variables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But, lagi daw mag-i-start sa, sa pagbilang ng number of observations sa 0. So, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ayan. Kaya, 4 yung N minus the M. Yung M naman, constant siyang 1. Ayan. So, constant yung 1. Ayan. Ayan. So, magkakaroon tayo ng value ng value ng standard deviation? 0.152, which is the final answer. Final